So here we are. We're back at one of my favorite shooting spots. You could tell I brought the Subi. It's a little bit harder to get past that little hump in the road than it used to be, for obvious reasons. But get here and this is new. That tree just fell down. I don't know if someone tried to knock it down or wind. And then I see this. And then I see this. Cool. Change of plans. We're gonna go to a designated shooting area that doesn't have any signs that say no shooting. We're not gonna take any chances because right now the whole state's kind of like leery about gun usage. So we're gonna go to a legit place. Yeah, see you guys in a bit. Well, that was frustrating. It's the next day. Got a couple hours in, but then a cop, or I should say a sheriff, showed up and he shut the shit down like hard. Like he came up with like this super aggressive attitude, like just walking up and he's like, okay, what the fuck, what's going on here, you know, like and we're like, oh, we're just shooting, you know, like it was an area that people clearly shoot at. It didn't say no shooting, you know, there was spent casings everywhere. We had an appropriate backstop, you know, no houses or anything around for quite a ways. Unloaded all the weapons, set them down, so he knew that we weren't going to be a problem for him. And, you know, I walked up to him and I started saying, like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, no, shut the fuck up. Shut your mouth. Shut your fucking mouth. And I was like, whoa, buddy. Here's how it's going to go. I'm going to take all your guns. I'm going to confiscate all your guns. We're like, whoa. He should have come up more respectfully and not come at us aggressively with his hand on his gun, you know, like when we were clearly willing to talk to him and come to an agreement. I'm not saying like, you know, we were about to engage in a firefight with this guy, but for all he knows, we're crazy and we'll just turn around and fucking blast this guy. But I mean, that's obviously not how it went, but just for him to come up and be that aggressive towards four guys actively shooting, you know, way outnumbering him, way outgunning him, was a little bit, I mean, it was ballsy of him. We talked to him for a little bit longer, and then he ended up giving another option. He's like, or you guys can pack your fucking shit up and get the fuck out of here right now. He didn't sound all gangster like that, but he was actually from a different country. He had a very thick accent, and it was almost hard to understand him, but I could understand his vulgar passages that he was spewing on us. And it was clear that he was, maybe he's been dealing with this all day and stuff, but it didn't seem like he was on our side. You know, a lot of times like cops will walk up to these situations and understand what you're doing because a lot of them are firearm lovers too, you know. But this guy, it just really seemed like he didn't like firearms and he didn't like the culture. And anyway, long story short, it was a bad day. I didn't get any footage. I really wish I would have recorded the I wouldn't call it an altercation, but I don't know. I really wish I would have got some video of it. I didn't even get any footage shooting because like we were kind of just in the zone until this stuff calms down, which it may never calm down. I'm not gonna go and risk my firearms getting confiscated. You know, because this was a shooting area. It wasn't like a paid place or whatever. It was a free area, but it was a shooting area. And for the police officers and the sheriffs and stuff to treat us like that was just, it was unnecessary because we would have just been happy to pack up and go. You know, we picked up all of our targets, all of the cans that we were shooting and stuff, and other people's garbage that they left there. There was no reason for him to treat us like that. I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to be investing more into force-on-force ammunition, which I'll show you this in the light here. This is what it looks like. It's just a standard magazine. So there's a marking projectile. I believe it's a 0.38, I think it's grams. Pretty much zero conversion needed. It uses a large rifle primer, but it's a lead-free primer, so you can use it indoors safely without worrying about any kind of inhalation of harmful vapors. And it's roughly 450 feet per second, and it's accurate to about 50 feet. So it's, definitely not a long range training round, but it does allow you to shoot indoors, and you don't need any kind of major backstop or whatever. Obviously, you should still wear eye protection in case of a ricochet or anything. And I've actually done a video about these in the past, and they actually have sent me ammunition for review purposes before. But I did purchase the bolt. It's clearly marked. So one of the features with this is it doesn't allow you to close the hatch here, and so it's always openly visible. All you do is buy the bolt and the ammunition, and you're 100% good to go. Everything else you can reuse from your same setup. It'll cycle fine. You don't have to mess with your buffer weights or anything. You can tweak it if you want to like change some characteristics, but pretty much it's plug and play, and it's awesome. There's no special trigger groups you need or anything. Just 100% all right here. Ammunition, bolt. That's it. It comes in a bunch of different colors, and you can actually request specific colors. If you have like a special request that they don't offer on the website, they'll make it for you or make something close to you. And what's cool about this is it's like paintball. There's color identification, so you can tell who hit you if you're using this color ammunition. So the marking compound is actually a detergent-based compound as well. So it's not like you're gonna have stains everywhere. It's just like literally machine washable, and it comes right out in the wash. So you don't have to ruin all your clothing too if you want to actually use this for force on force training. That's what it's for. But the point of this video I'm making is I'm going to be switching over to training pretty much 100% with this stuff. I'm going to obviously have to do less training overall because this ammunition is currently, as of 2019, like towards the end of the year, it's the cheapest I've been able to find it is $14 for 20 rounds, and that's a pretty premium price for 223. You're normally looking, at least right now, you're normally looking at like steel case and even some brass case stuff for like $5-6 for 20 rounds, and so the price difference is significant. There's a copper band. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little copper band that kind of engages with your rifling. So it's a real clean system. It doesn't like gum up your barrel. There's no like paint inside here at the end of the session. It's just 100% clean. It's probably actually cleaner than it was before, if I do say so myself. Yeah, so I'm going to be switching over to this and setting up a little, as far as I can, range and my yard, similar to what I was doing with airsoft. But this allows me to use all my gear, not just certain accessories like sights and things and stocks, but this allows me to use my magazines and the same exact rifle that I use for self-defense or just going to the range or whatever. It's the same setup. I mean, obviously not looking at the same distances, being able to be accurate, but the recoil is not the same, but it still gives you a nice little kick to the shoulder to remind you that you have shot something. It's definitely a lot more recoil than what you would get for like the airsoft equivalent of this rifle, and 100% reliable in cold weather because it's literally still a small explosion in your gun, so it has nothing to do with the weather. I'm going to give you a little demonstration. I'm just going to shoot the piece of paper. Okay. I've not zeroed this sight for this system yet, actually, so. Okay, so it's shooting low. Same spot. The hell was that? Okay, held open the bolt, empty mag. They're a little bit warm still. That's what they look like. It's just literally a little piston like that. So that's what gives the recoil characteristics. It's literally expanding rearward and allowing it to push the bolt back. I forgot that these were a bit more powerful than an airsoft gun in terms of a lot of ways. They're shooting about 450 feet per second. Typical airsoft guns shooting about 300 to 350 with a .2 gram projectile. This is a .35 or .38 or something like that, .36 gram projectile, shooting at 450 on average. I don't know what the math is, but it's a lot higher than your typical airsoft rifle, and that's why they suggest you wear more protective clothing than, say, you would in airsoft. Anyway, airsoft makes you bleed and gives you scars. This stuff at the ranges it's intended for probably wouldn't make you bleed, because the projectiles kind of expand and dissipate the energy like on a wider surface. Airsoft it stays solid the entire time, so it's going to feel like a lot more force in an area. But until this kind of deforms and hits something hard or comes to a stop, it's going to go through like soft things such as a towel. Hopefully you don't watch this, Gene. These are the projectiles right there. After they've been shot, you can see that they've released their load. I got to clean this up, but it did kind of spray on the oven and on the back here. Let's see if we wipe this off. There are some little marks on the wood here, but yeah, I mean, you can see how easily this stuff comes off. That's the little hole they created. That's every single one of them. So that's the kind of group you could expect from like 10 feet away, of course. Another good reason to keep your empties, you could insert this randomly, close your eyes, load the magazine like you would normally. I mean, most people don't close their eyes when they load, but you don't have to really watch what you're loading in as long as you have a group of the same ammo that you're pulling from. But you could throw one or two of these in the mix, maybe 30 rounds, whatever, 10 rounds, whatever you want to train with, and that's going to guarantee it's not going to cycle. So you could strip that round out, practice for failures. So if for no other reason, even if you don't plan on recycling them, if you don't plan on reloading them, you can keep at least a few to practice stoppages. This is the carrier. It's simple. It's not gas operated, obviously, because the cartridge itself or the case itself is the gas portion of it. This bolt is not a color just for no reason. It's actually specifically designed to where it is 100% impossible to fire a live round. It does kind of suck that I'm not going to be able to shoot as frequently or shoot as many rounds, to get the same amount of training. But I do want to keep up with my skills. It's important to keep up with your reloading procedures and just moving in general with the firearm and trigger control. All those things you can still practice at home. You don't need to use live ammunition for that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a really cool system. It really is. Keep all your cases. Don't throw them away just for future. Like if you want to try reload them, or if they do end up coming up with a recycling program, don't throw these away because I mean they're cool anyway. Just keep them. Have a good day. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.